Of the notes, they want us to decide whether enough information is given to prove the triangles are congruent using side angle side congruence postulate. So they're telling us the postulate to use. Again, remember, most of the time we're going to be identifying which postulate can be used or if the triangles are congruent at all. So usually they're not going to be pointing out which one to use. But here they're testing us on beginning to use it and is it working for the picture. So in this question, they want us to see, are these triangles congruent? LMN, NOP. The order does matter, the way they name it there. So let's just look. LMN, NOP. Make sure that they're like corresponding order. They cross the side with none and then the side with one. Here it crossed none and then one. So that order should be matching. We've got two sides marked in each triangle. So we do have the two S's in this statement. And the angle right here, if you look at it, this side here, and I'm going to do some highlighting. This side with one mark on it, and then the side with two marks, and the side with two marks. And notice that this angle is formed by those sides. They surround it. So this statement that proves these triangles congruent is side angle side. So I'm just going to say yes, side angle side. On this one here, if the right side at D is a right angle, then the other angle here at D is also a right angle. So these angles are matching. They share a side. DB is a shared side. We can mark it. I'm going to use two marks because they already used the side, one mark on those two sides. Now let's look. These appear to be marked kind of strange. Right here, I've got AD and DB marked. They surround the right angle. Notice in this triangle, I've got BC and BD. They do not surround the right angle. So these pictures are not marked in a corresponding way. The picture on the left appears to be side angle side, but the picture on the right would be HL. So these reasons do not match up. So these triangles are not congruent. You can only say they're congruent if each of them can use the same postulate to prove them congruent. So since this one had a side and the angle in the middle, this triangle appeared to be side angle side, whereas the one on the right, it's got the hypotenuse and the leg marked and the right angle there. So it didn't have side angle side going on. This one looked like HL. And since they don't match up, you cannot say that they're congruent. On the next two, looking at these two triangles, they share a side. They've already got one marking here, so let's mark the shared side with two markings. Now let's look and see if they're correspondingly marked. This side has one mark. This side has one mark. This side has two marks. Here is the angle that's marked, and it's between those two sides. Here is the angle that's marked, and it's between the two sides. Let's make sure they named it well. DEG, crossed 1, crossed 2. That's the order it went in. FGE, crossed 1, crossed 2. These are named appropriately, and they do have the right markings for side angle side. So yes, this is side angle side. Get a pen. So yes, side angle side. Looks 3D. There we go. Let's look at the right side here. Looking at that picture, I see two sides marked, and I do see an angle. So they're trying to make you think that it's side angle side, but here's the thing. I'm going to highlight my matching parts so we can see it clearly. This side is marked like this one is marked. This one is marked like this one is marked. Now, those do not surround the angle that's marked. Here is the angle that's marked. It is not surrounded. So, if I were to name this one, I would be thinking that there's two sides and an angle that's not in the middle. So I would start by writing the two sides, and I would put the angle not in the middle. I would put it on the end. Now I'm hoping that you're looking at this and you think to yourself, this is not one of those shortcuts. Because if you look at it carefully, remember that I had said you cannot have any of the shortcut methods that would spell a cuss word forwards or backwards. And notice that if you read that direction, it makes a bad word. So this is not possible. This is not one of those reasons. The only time that would work out and you wouldn't write it is when it's hypotenuse leg. And there's no right angle here, so it cannot be hypotenuse leg. So these are not congruent.